Well, hello everybody. This is Erin Holman, and I'm just doing a quick update on the upcoming password change that we're going to go through. So I sent an email out to everybody a couple days ago, and it looked something like this. It said Security Initiative on September 10th, or if you are in Fountain Hills, it said the 9th. So you would have gotten different days because it's going to happen at different times. So the Fountain Hills email quickly here said it would be on September 9th. So again, Fountain Hills agents, September 9th, North Scottsdale agents, September 10th. All right, so now that you guys know the day that this is going to happen, you can mark your calendar. I also sent you a calendar invite that you could have accepted to your calendar, and if you did, it would be in your calendars. Let me see if I can show you what it would look like. If you accepted it to your calendar, you would have a, hold on, let's see here, a calendar invite that's going to be on your calendar for that day. So again, September 9th is a Wednesday, and you would have a little invite like this that you could have accepted to your calendar in Office 365 that says password change day, and it would be in your calendar as a reminder for you. Now, on September 9th or 10th, depending on which office you're in, you're going to get an email that's going to contain a temporary password. That email is going to be sent to your outside of Coldwell Banker email address, so what we call a secondary email address, not your CB Realty or AZ Moves email address, but an outside of work email address, such as a Yahoo, Gmail, AOL, Earthlink, something like that, another email address that you have that's not your Coldwell Banker one. So how are we going to know what it is? Well, that's what the message was. It asked you to please go ahead and set up a secondary email address on your Okta profile. So let's talk about this. Sometimes we forget that as Coldwell Banker, we're part of a much larger company called Realogy, and there is a website, and if you're seeing my screen here, realogy.okta.com. So what you would do is you would go into a browser such as Chrome and type that as the address. When you go to realogy.okta.com, you can modify your Okta profile. So your Okta profile is going to look like, let me show you really quick. So here I did it. I went out to realogy.okta.com. I'll just do it again to show you, realogy.okta.com. When you click that, you come out to a place that says Realogy, and you guys have probably seen this sign-in screen before, and you're going to type your email address and your password, and you are going to log in, and there'll also be a little symbol here that you have chosen. So when you sign in to realogy.okta.com with your user ID and password that you use for everything, the same one, you are going to see this screen here. And you're not used to seeing this. Why? Because we always go to Desk, which is mycbdesk.com. That's where we go every day to go get everything we need. It looks like this, mycbdesk.com. It's basically our portal where you have all the apps that you have access to, and then you have the company, intranet and all the reports and everything down the side. This is not what we're talking about. We need you to go here to realogy.okta.com. So when you get out here, what you want to do is, and the instructions were sent in that email, but I'm going to just walk you through it. You want to go to your profile, which is right here. So it's at realogy.okta.com, your profile, which is where it has your name up here in the blue bar over to the right hand side. And when you see your name there, you're going to click down and go to Settings. In your settings, you are going to make sure that you have a secondary email address there. So right here it says personal information, my name, my username, and then it has my secondary email. My secondary email that I set up is this one right there. Now you may want to set up a different one. So you would just edit your profile. You might have to re-enter your password again, which is fine, to verify yourself. And sometimes there's even a two-step authentication, which is what involves your phone. So I'm going to do that now. I'm sending a code to my phone. This is multi-factor authentication. This is what keeps your profile safe from people who could be hacking in from other countries or different places. This is what keeps us secure. So I'm going to enter that code. Now here I am. So I can go ahead and I can edit my profile here and put I can change my security image there, or I can, set up different types of uh, authentication and stuff like that. So that is where you're going to add your secondary email. And now I already have one, and you may already have one, and that's fine. If you do not have one, that is what we're asking you to do right now, is to enter that secondary email. So I could enter my secondary email like this, Aaron@HolmanGroupAZ.com. That's going to be my secondary one, and hit save. I already had it saved there, but I went ahead and did it again just to show you guys how to do it. So that's what you're going to do. That's what we're asking you to do. Okay, so on the day of now you've done what you needed to do. That's all you can do for right now. So what you'll do now is you will wait until the day comes that it's time for the password change. What is going to happen that day is that at that secondary email address that you gave, you are going to get an email from Realogy, which contains your temporary password. And temporary passwords always look something. I'll give you an example of what they look like. Temporary passwords always look something like, I'll show you, something like, they always look something like that. Okay, they're just temporary passwords. So you're going to take that temporary password that you're going to get emailed to you on the day, and you're going to use that as your password to log in to Realogy.com, and then you're immediately going to change your password again. It's going to say, okay, thank you for entering, your temporary password as your password. Now we want you to change your password. And that's where you are going to change your password to a new password for yourself. So on that day, you will have to come up with a new password. And if you have trouble on that day, we're going to have a special helpline set up for anybody who's having trouble getting in. And we'll man that for a couple days. And so I'm just going to type that really big. It was in the email I sent to you, but I'm just going to type it here. So it's that number right there, 1-888-226-0558. So you can call up that line, and if something didn't work, like maybe you didn't get any of these messages, you didn't send up your secondary email, or you did, but it's confusing, or it's not working and you can't get logged in, you will call this number, and this number will help you to get logged back in. This is just a kind of a one-day thing, a one-time thing that we're doing as a part of a major security update that we're doing to all of our systems and to Realogy in general. So this help desk line is just a one-day hotline. I'm going to type one-day hotline. That's just for one day. And you can call that number and get back in no time. They're going to be the ones that are going to be able to help you on that day to reset your password and to get logged back in if something doesn't go for you smoothly or as planned. So again, what we need you to do right now, and you would have gotten an email from me just recently. I'm going to pull up the email. You would have gotten this email from me last week, and I think a lot of people are confused about it, so I just wanted to go over it again. The email that you get would basically say, hey, we're gonna have a big Realogy password change, and I'll go back to the email that you should have gotten here. You would have gotten this. Hi all, mark your calendars for either Wednesday, September 9th or Thursday, September 10th. On that day, you will need to change your password for Coldwell Banker. We will have a special help number just for this initiative. Please print and read the attachment, which many of you have already printed and read. This is for your security and the security of your clients. And then in the password, it says important notice regarding password change. Uh, During the night before all this happens, you will not have access to your email and your CB desk. It will not be available the night before the change. So for the Fountain Hills agents, that will be on September 8th, and for the North Scottsdale agents, that will be the evening of September 9th. Now, again, a general overview of what you can expect. You're not going to be able to get to desk or your Coldwell Banker email until you change your password by following the steps below. You will receive an important email containing a temporary password. Okay, you will be required to change your old password. Your old password is going to be what? Not the old password you've been using, but the temporary password that we're emailing you. Okay, again, you do not need to be in the office to do this password change. So you can do this from home, you can do this from your phone, you can do this from your friend's computer, literally any device that is connected to the internet you can do. So what you need to do now, again, is add that secondary email address to your Okta profile, which is what I just covered in the beginning of this video, is how to add a secondary email address. If you get into Okta and you already have a secondary email address there, you don't need to do it again. You're good. But if you get in there and you do not have a secondary email address, that's where you need to edit it, change it, and then hit save. And then now you will have a secondary email address. So again, on the day of the change, you're going to get an email to your secondary email address, not your Coldwell Banker one, and it's going to be from emailconversion@nrt.llc.com. Okay, we get a lot of spams, we get a lot of fraud and stuff like that. So we're telling you ahead of time that this is going to be legit. Okay, so when that email comes from emailconversion@nrtllc.com, it's real, it's not fake. Okay, and it will contain your new temporary password. Okay, so anyways, that is what's going to happen. So it is not going to be a spam or phishing email. And I'm going to click on, in the document I sent you, it has an example of what the email is going to look like. So I'm going to show it to you. So the email is going to look something like this that's coming up on my screen right now. An email is going to look like this. And it's going to tell you that your password is expiring and that there's going to be a temporary password sent to your secondary email address. And again, the password policy with Coldwell Banker and Realogy is that every 90 days you have to change it. It has to have a minimum of 10 characters. It can't contain parts of your name. Okay, you can't reuse any of the last 12 passwords, and you have to have at least one uppercase character, one lowercase letter or character, one number, and one special character, like a exclamation point, an @ sign, or whatever. So, and then again, you shouldn't use common dictionary words in your passwords. So spring, summer, winter, fall, Coldwell Banker, Realogy. That is not very secure, so you shouldn't be using stuff like that. So during the time before now and the 9th or 10th, be thinking of your new password, because I know it can be challenging. Again, it has to have at least 10 characters, so it has to be fairly long. It has to have letters, okay, one capital and at least one lowercase. It has to have one number, at least a number, and it has to have at least one special character. So if you start thinking of what it's going to be ahead of time, then on the day it won't be that difficult. So again, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what that email was that I sent out and the calendar reminder that I sent out. I'm creating this video so that you could go ahead and, you know, set up your secondary email address now and be ready for it and know that you're ready for the change. Or in case some of you aren't getting this, at least on the day of when people are having trouble logging in, I can send this video and it will help people. So again, any trouble, On the day of, remember, we have the hotline that you can call, which is just going to be a one-day thing. They'll get you right back in there and get you right back to work, which is our intention. We want you working, but we also want everything to be super secure. All right, that's my update on the password change. Enjoy.